Hello, everybody, and welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 30th meeting. Thanks so much for joining us and being here. I'm very pleased to be here with Tadas and Will and Rosmari and Zaal. We've been catching up and enjoying our time together. If anyone wants to say hello, then feel free, of course. Otherwise, I'll get into sharing a quick presentation about Optimism Fractal if anyone is not familiar, and also about the topics on the agenda for today, and then we'll get into playing the respect game. We've been laughing too, having some good jokes here. Okay, so welcome to Optimism Fractal. As I just said, you can check out Optimism Fractal at optimismfractal.com. We've been working on updating the website, so we got a nice new picture there. It's a community dedicated to fostering collaboration and awarding public goods creators on optimism. We also have a discussion about that coming up today. So it's a great place to meet optimists. We host weekly events every Thursday that provide a perfect place to network and make friends and collaborate with talented innovators in the collective. So everybody's welcome to join. We encourage you to do so and invite your friends. And it's also a great place to earn respect. The only place in Optimism to earn respect, the respect token that is, which we earn by collaborating and helping Optimism. You can learn more here, and watching the video, you'll see how it goes. We'll each share a bit about what we're doing to help Optimism. And we're also promoting our work too, because each time that we do this, we release these videos that you may be watching right now, and you can watch all of our videos here. So come join, come watch, and so forth, and help grow optimism too, and help achieve the optimistic vision. Encourage you to check out the links to learn more about all these amazing things that are going on here at Optimism Fractal, and also help contribute to public goods too. We have a Notion site where you can get involved, a bunch of projects, community projects that we're working on together. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions about how the best way to get involved is. And we're also working to help people get funded too, with the impact equals profit ethos in the Optimism Collective. So more details here. We're also pioneering community governance, which is one of the main topics that we'll discuss today, with the Optimism Fractal Council that everybody can join each week by voting in the snapshot poll after you've earned respect at the respect game. And we're hosting the Optimism Town Hall. As of about 4 or 5 weeks ago, we started hosting a town hall where we vote with respect on topics. So everybody's welcome to propose topics you'd like to discuss. We do these at 18 UTC, which is an hour after the respect game starts. So everybody's welcome to stick around or join for this event as well. And we're also building tools. For example, Tadas recently released or announced some really exciting tools too. So everybody's welcome to use these open source tools to empower their community with the respect game and fractal decision-making tools. And that's a little high-level overview of the website. Optimism, Lou.Monsters Optimism Fractal is a place where you can register for weekly email reminders and find the Zoom link for the events. Once again, encourage you to join and invite friends. Love to meet new people, and also appreciate your support and spreading the word too about all the innovations in the games and the cool stuff we're doing here. Optimistics, who originally created Optimism Fractal, put out these messages encouraging people to network with Superchain builders and play the games and create the future governance and so forth. Shout out to Rosmari for making this beautiful art about Superchain leaders, and also Lisk too for retweeting and so forth, or sharing it. And the topic for today's town hall, after we play the respect game, will be about Optimism Fractal's core intents too. For anybody who can stick around, we also have topics about Onchain Summer initiatives from Base and Optimism Collective Season 6, and much more too. I'll get into that briefly too. And also we have an Optimism Fractal channel on the Warpcast as well, decentralized social media network. So encourage you to join the Discord, encourage you to post over here and like it and so forth, and spread the word. A lot of great stuff going on here, great posts. So encourage you to join. Also the videos too, I mentioned you can go to optimismfractal.com/videos, and you can check out our recent videos, such as where we talked about Optimism Fractal software, the stuff that Tadas is building, and we played some Cagendas games, community agenda games at the town hall, and we talked about Base and talking about all the cool things that we've been doing in Optimism Fractal Season 3. We're in our 3rd season now, but you can watch all of the videos that we've done so far and see a lot of amazing innovators and learn much more by scrolling through. Last video, we also talked about reflections on our progress so far, and that video will be released shortly, but it is in the Optimism Fractal Discord right now. And also, while I'm here, I just want to give one quick shout out and thanks to Eden Fractal, which is the community that inspired Optimism Fractal. Me, Rosmari, and Tadas all met at Eden Fractal, basically, and been collaborating there. And then we formed the Optimistics along with another Eden Fractal community member, developer named Vlad, and we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. And so Eden Fractal hosts events every Wednesday at 16 UTC, where we're pioneering the respect game and other processes as well. So everybody's welcome to join these as well. And just want to say thanks. I'm looking forward to empowering millions of communities with fractal democracy software on the OP Superchain, and hope you'll join us for the weekly events at both Optimism Fractal and Eden Fractal each week. For anyone who's not familiar, Optimism.io is where you can learn more with the collective and get involved and build together and benefit together. All sorts of amazing things going on in the Superchain with Base and Fractals on Mode and the OP mainnet, and all sorts of amazing apps that you can learn more about on Optimism.io, and get involved with public goods and getting funded for public goods, and optimistics.io you can check out our blog to learn more about the history of Optimism Fractal, and more details about all the cool things that we're discussing here. The events page too, we have an events calendar, but I think I went over that already. And then, yeah, for anybody who wants to stick around, you don't need to, but you're very welcome to join the Optimism Town Hall at 18 UTC as well after we play the respect game. So what we'll do now is we will play the respect game. And well, I suppose one last thing I have up is that Rosmari shares like weekly recaps of each event and writes great little sections over here. So you can check it out on the Optimism Governance forum to learn more about what's going on. But now I think that I'll get into the oh, actually, this is something I meant to mention. So these are topics for the proposals. Anybody can propose a topic for the town hall. So that's what we'll discuss before. I made a proposal or a draft proposal to include optimism governance in the Optimism Collective and Superchain. So I'm curious to discuss this. This is what we'll discuss at the Optimism Town Hall afterwards. And then we have other topics on the agenda as well, if we have time to discuss Onchain Summer and Optimism Collective Season 6 and so forth. Would love to hear everybody's thoughts. And I think that this core intense discussion won't take too long. So I'm just curious to hear if anybody has any feedback about that, and happy to discuss anything that's on anybody's mind. Feel free to suggest any other topics that you'd like to discuss as well for the town hall. But with that out of the way, we are going to play the respect game. I recently started to put up this website, optimismfractal.com/welcome, that has a simple overview of the respect game. So basically, normally we'd go into breakout groups, but we have 6 people today, so we'll hang out in our group today, and then each person will take up to 4 minutes to share really recent contributions to optimism. So share whatever you've done to help optimism, like creating content or building software, inviting friends, and then we'll work to rank each other's contributions in the Fractalgram app. And everybody here knows how to do it. So for anybody who doesn't know, then you can learn more there, and you'll watch the video and you'll see it. But with that, I suppose that I will stop my screen share. Thanks everybody for listening to my presentation. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. As I try to find how to stop my screen share, I'm trying to figure out where the button is. Also, special welcome to Eric too. Eric is a pioneer and a leader in fractal democracy and fractal governance. He participates in just about all the Eden Fractal meetings, and I've had the pleasure to know him and collaborate with him for the past couple years now. He's also the founder of a fractal as well, and is doing great things to share the respect game and these fractal processes with many people. So I really appreciate you joining here for the first time, Eric, and looking forward to hearing from you. With that, if anybody has any comments you want to share, if anybody wants to go first and share what you've been doing in the respect game, then floor is now open. Thanks all.
Well, don't everybody jump at once. Did you call on me? You want me to go first?
If you'd like
I'll
to go
go
first, that
in
would be
respect
great.
game.
Well, sounds great.
Okay. All right. Well, the last time I joined, and you can put the timer up if you want.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll put the timer.
I wasn't able. So let me start this. I wasn't able to join last week, and I'm very sore about it. But I had a lot going on inside and outside of Web3. So that consumed a lot of my time. Also, those that don't know, I've taken a new opportunity with Charmverse as a grant program manager assistant. So there's been a lot of work in that area. As you probably saw the announcement from Polygon yesterday, that they opened up their new grants program, which will be running through the end of August. So if you're looking to build on Polygon, or if you have a build on another chain and you want to bring it into the Polygon ecosystem, there are grant opportunities available for that. This is a 10-year plan for them for community run grant rounds. So I think that's pretty incredible that they're thinking with that long of a vision. Also, tomorrow there will be another opportunity forthcoming from Charmverse. I can't say exactly what it is until it's been announced. So just pay attention to the Charmverse social accounts, and you'll get looped in on that as well. So a lot of work in that area for Charmverse. Additionally, I did socialize with our dev team the opportunity we applied for back on June 5th. So we did apply for a Outlier Ventures base camp. If you're not familiar with Outlier Ventures, they're one of the longest standing Web3 base camp, boot camp, accelerator type entities in our ecosystem. So we have supplied for one of their base camps to get our OP build completed that we're looking to. So then this way we can at least start the process, start the build. We can apply for, hopefully there's an opportunity for mission builders grants in season 6 of OP grants. And we can have a better opportunity to get approved for that type of funding as well. Outside of that, a lot of what, yeah, thanks, Rosmari. Love the claps. Outside of that, what we're looking at too is we've been hyper focused on our broadcasts. We have a new web series now called DeFi Demystified. So we're just taking all the mystery out of DeFi, making it very base level education. And then we're talking without using much jargon. And if we are using jargon, we're explaining what that jargon means. So I think that's very important, especially because our content, we repurpose it for a larger effort on Blockchain Adventures Network Radio. And I just found out this week they've grown their listenership to over 26,000 listeners in 212 countries. And they've only been live since the middle of January. So I think that's pretty incredible. Gives us a whole new audience to expose our content to, and especially those that don't know what's really going on here in the blockchain ecosystem. We just want to make sure we're talking in a language that they can understand. Additionally, we are now back to simulcasting. So we are also broadcasting using a new app integrated with Farcaster called Farhouse, which is a social audio platform very similar to X Spaces on x.com. But it gives us, again, another audience to tap into. So we're looking at all distribution avenues for our programming. Additionally, another thing that we just did yesterday is you guys have probably understand that we've been working on our learn to earn program, what the mechanics of that looks like. And excuse me. And what does that mean to the learners when they participate in our educational courses of what exactly is it that they're learning while they're earning? So we have new branding. It's on the banner behind me. We're officially calling our Learn to Earn program Learn for Impact, because every single token reward that they gain as a way of showing that they've completed courses at Kingfisher's Media are impact tokens. So these are tokens we've identified that are making an impact to a larger effort, whether it's social impact or environmental impact. And I think I'm right at time. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Will. Excellent. Really excited to hear your progress. Would you like to pick somebody to go next?
Yeah, I'm going to pick on the one person out of this group that I want to welcome officially to the Kingfishers Media community, who went out and minted one of our educational passports, and that would be Zaal.
Thanks, Will. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good.
Good, good.
I'm driving back to Massachusetts right now, so I will not be able to share my screen. I've been working on a couple of different things in the last week. I joined the Fractal meeting yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool Fractal individuals. And as well as I've been working on our Zaal Fractal over the last week and a half. And we had our first event on Monday, so I've been just charging my time towards that. Right now, most of the actual governance is off paper, but I got a couple other individuals to try out the Fractalgram, play around with it without any of the on-chain stuff. So we're just getting used to it, and I think it'll be a really good next couple of weeks of just trying to implement it with different individuals and getting more people involved in our community to try out this fractal governance concept. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't have too much to say today, just because I'm driving and I usually can share screen and share. But we have a wave force coming up, which we've been targeting some energy towards. So that will be, we have changed our super votes to be on Base currently, just because of trying to get more involved with Onchain Summer. And yeah, so our goal is to really promote this one because it's two more known Web3 artists that can kind of generate a crowd. So our goal is to try and get some kind of a prize officially out by next Sunday. And it's going to be not this upcoming Sunday, but next Sunday. So I'll share more about it next week and share the screen. But thanks for you guys' time. And I'll pick Tadas to go next.
Thank you, Zaal. Yeah, so this week, I think people here already know that I'm currently working on a new Fractal app for that Optimism Fractal could first test and then if it works, we could upgrade to it. Yeah, so not a lot of new things to share besides what I already shared. A lot of, without going into technical details, I mean, today I organized the whole finished reorganizing code base so that it works both on server side as well in the browser. Yeah, and besides that, I distributed respect, talked with Dan about how to name this new app, and yeah, and responded to the questions from Zaal today. Distributed respect, and yeah, I think that's all.
Do you want to share a bit more details in this past week? What were you mostly focused on?
Yeah, like I said, it's mostly technical details related, like programming related to that new app. I don't know. Are you interested?
And maybe what was it that you resolved?
Yeah, so like I already mentioned, so there is a large part of the code which has to be used on the server side and on the browser, and it's kind of tricky in programming language in JavaScript to create a module that can be used on both, especially if you have a dependency that is kind of opinionated towards one or the other. So yeah, so this week I had to spend a lot of time dealing with issues related to that.
Okay. So kind of clearing out possible bugs that could arise, and making sure that it works correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Critical blocking points that are already blocking for the development.
Mm-hmm.
But now the path is getting clearer.
Glad to hear, and nice work. Thank you very much. I suppose one thing, because you still have a minute left, and I'm just curious. I think that you said that you're aiming to have a release within 2 or 3 weeks, and that was maybe something like 2 weeks ago. So, do you have any estimates on how much time or when you think that it'll be ready to try out?
Yeah. So, if my predictions are correct, I should release next week. I'm still targeting that. But yeah, worst case, beginning of the next week. But yeah, and I'm talking about deployment. Yeah.
Sounds great. I'm very much looking forward to trying it. If there's anything else you want to add to us, then feel free. Or if you want to pass it on to somebody else whenever you're ready, then do it too.
Okay, Rosmari, do you want to go next?
Yes. Thank you. I shall not screen. Okay, I'm just gonna move things around. I guess not. So thank you everyone for going and sharing your progress. It sounds amazing. What I did this past week was I worked on updating the main cover image on the optimismfractal.com, because the first image was a bit outdated, and now we have the Optimism Town Hall and stages visible, as well as some other additions. It's still a work in progress, but I think it's looking much better than before. And also I promoted today's Optimism Fractal event on Twitter or X. I created this beautiful image with the Superchain leaders and all the networks, or some of the networks, I'm sure there's more and more coming every day. And also, so it's a thread, and I tagged Base and Optimism with the topics that we're most likely to discuss today in the Optimism Town Hall. I tagged the amazing Superchain leaders, and also I received some reply from Lisk, so that was great to see. Apart from that, I also promoted the event on webcast and in all the channels like Base Builds, Optimism, Stack, Optimism Fractal, similar message there. And I also tagged their Twitter accounts on there too. I worked on updating the videos page with the latest video. Actually, I think 2 videos, so they're now uploaded. Fully uploaded on YouTube, and also can be found on this videos page. I shared the event promotion as an article in the Optimism discourse too, inviting people over, linking to our Discord and our snapshot space for Optimism Town Hall. And then same thing with promoting the event on Eden Fractal's Telegram and Discord too. And also, I've been doing the same thing with Eden Fractal, which actually celebrated a 2-year anniversary. It was the 2nd week of celebration. So I crafted this beautiful image again here, which I'll show a bit later. But I reached out to a bunch of people and tweeted about the celebration, inviting people over, and also tagging some people from the actual Fractally team that developed a lot of those governance processes. And I also did a personal outreach to many of the Fractal community members who joined Eden Fractal or are involved with fractals. So I had a curated list of people with their Telegram names or Twitter names. And then also the event had a good turnout of 15 people, and we had an awesome time. Thank you, Zaal, for joining, and Eric and Dan, of course. And whoever couldn't make it, no worries. You're all invited to join every week at 16 UTC or in Fractal. And we played an awesome game where we shared Fractal stories here. I also worked on updating the edenfractal.com videos page with titles and making sure that it was mostly my work was around making sure that the titles and the descriptions are there. The images were already created from before. You can browse through when you go to videos at edenfractal.com or the other way around. And also I joined the Onchain Summer build-a-thon of office hours for Base. It was the first time I asked a couple of questions, so that was good to connect with Base and also watch the Base Builders Friday call, as well as their Twitter spaces for the Onchain Summer build-a-thon, the opening ceremony. And also I've been like engaging on Twitter with Base community and Optimism, and same with Farcaster, and yes, and also I updated the playlists to include all the latest videos for Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal. Okay, and so to go a bit over time. Dan, would you like to go next?
Sure, I'm happy to. Thanks, Rosmari. I don't know if you mentioned, but you edited the videos too, I think. But thanks so much. That was a really nice presentation. And I love to see all the promotions. You're really ramping up here. Very exciting stuff to hear from everybody. So way to go, and huge thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go now.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, so what did I do to help optimism this week? That's the question I'm going to answer now. So let's see. I hosted the events. I prepare a lot every week for the Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall events, and the Eden Fractal event, as Rosmari just showed as well. As a lot of people know here, I work a lot in this Notion site, and I'm constantly making projects. This might be a little confusing because one of the things we've been doing is working on templates for events, but this is just like a high-level overview. You can see when I created most of these within the past, I suppose there's only like 4 projects I created actually in the past week, but I did a bunch of tasks too, but maybe that's not the best thing to show right now, but just as a general overview, you can see what I'm working on a lot in those tasks and projects. As Rosmari just said, and I also mentioned before too, I'm really excited about what we're doing at Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal. I really believe that it's going to empower millions of communities on the Superchain, and create profound benefits for everyone in optimism and all of humanity, really. So very excited about this, and I put out some tweets about it. I've also been ramping up some promotions to help get the word out to the Optimism Collective and to the wider world on Warpcast and on Twitter and so forth. And yeah, as I said before, I was working on templates to prepare for each Optimism Fractal and Town Hall events and Eden Fractal events. Doing this a lot with Rosmari. So we have like lots of projects and tasks to make it so that each event, basically, we hit a button in the project section, and then it creates an automatic like a button over here, prepare for this event, and then there's a button, so we automatically create a bunch of tasks from there, and that helps organize our work for managing a bunch of different promotions and stuff. And over time, that can also help many people collaborate and do different things in different ways. So we have a project where we're kind of going through all of that. There's also a lot of promotion, like for example, you can see here all the different tasks that are involved and stuff like that, and all the messages that we're crafting for Fractal Stories. And it looks like my things are taking a little while to load right now, so let me open up this side browser so I can see where I am. So I made 3 or 4 different proposals. I made 4 different topic proposals for the town hall. The 3 of them were kind of simple, just open discussion and then reiterating work that I'd previously done, curating resources at Optimism Collective Season 6 and Base Onchain Summer. But then the one I worked on a lot more this week was about Optimism Fractal's core intents, and I put together a page where I provided some rationale for why I think that we should change up the core intent a little bit and add a part about optimism governance and about the superchain. So I put together this article, and then I put together a message in Discord too. Thanks to Tadas for the feedback over here. So there's rationale and stuff that we can get into afterwards. I've been working a lot on researching Onchain Summer as well, along with Rosmari, and also participate in the base call and have been curating resources about that. And then I've also spent a lot of time. So Abraham reached out to me last week, and he was interested in helping out with Optimism Fractal development, and specifically about integrating wall connection services in the Optimism Fractal app. So I was coordinating behind the scenes a lot with Tadas and Abraham, and also a few other people who are interested in these tools to figure out how to build the best tools into it, like the Coinbase Smart Wallet, Privy, and so forth, and coming up with a plan along with a reference implementation, so forth, to provide resources for Abraham or wherever else to build this. I also participated in the Optimism Season 6 Election Town Hall because I nominated myself for the Optimism Grants Council. So I gave a little overview there and spoke for a minute in front of probably like 42 leaders in the Optimism Collective about Optimism Fractal and Optimistics and what we do in general. And I've been working a lot on improving the CSS for the website for optimismfractal.com as well. I have a project there. And then I'm also been working on creating a welcome guide too, like I showed you before. There's not much there, but it's just kind of like an easy overview. However, it's not loading right now for whatever reason. I think I'm sure there's a lot more too that I can mention, but maybe I'll wrap it up here because I only have 20 seconds left. And I'll just also say that I think I already said this actually, but I've been ramping up promotions, and I collaborate a lot with Rosmari on all these promotions as well. And so, yeah, I think I'll wrap it up there then, and happy to hear from Eric. Eric, would you can you hear us, and would you like to go next?
Sorry, I just had some problems unmuting. I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. Well, whenever you're ready.
I'll go quick. For those that don't know, I'm basically in the mission amplification business. One of the problems that any organization, group, community has, as we learned in Eden Fractal, it's very difficult to figure out who you are and what you want and create the mission. What's even harder is executing that mission effectively. So that involves a couple things these days. One is involves decision making, and the other one, it involves the digital transformation or implementing technology effectively. So this week we met with a group that is the I Value group with. So Farnaz and I met with a company that does a really amazing job of querying the whole organization to build a roadmap on everybody's opinion on how you solve a problem, solve a challenge. So it doesn't answer that question, it gives you that view of what everybody thinks is needed. So it's kind of the background you need to really make great decisions. And then the other part is, okay, so what do you use to make that decision? So I'm talking about adoption, to build the culture and team necessary to do that using the fractal governance. So I started chapter 3 of my dissertation about actually building that project plan that I need to get approved to go out and basically do fractal governance, respect, and measure it. So for those that don't know, I used to be a government program manager and worked in program management in the commercial world. So I started building a project plan for that. And then I met with Tadas this morning about how I can use the tools to implement that plan. And so it's really about moving forward in decision making and creating missions and being able to match those missions with the digital technology, getting the digital data right. That's what I've done this last week.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, Eric. You still have almost 2 minutes left if there's anything else you want to add. Is there anything else you'd like to add to what you've been doing this week, or perhaps a more general introduction for anybody watching Optimism Fractal who hasn't seen Eden Fractal or heard your work before, or perhaps also how to relate to Optimism? I think that you're interested in using the Optimism Superchain as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, the reason why I haven't been focused on Optimism is I'm trying to build my case studies so that when we go to grants, they could say, why do you think this works? And we go, here's why, because I did it. Here's the data, here's the proof. So we finished up for the digital transformation, we finished up a case study with the San Diego Diplomacy Council, and now I'm still going to see if they would be open to do a fractal governance case study with us. But a lot of this comes from a book which was released in January on Amazon called Nonprofit Digital Transformation Demystified, which talks about the models we've developed to match mission with your technology, with the digital transformation. So you can apply what resources you have right now with the digital project that will amplify your mission the most.
All right. Sounds great, Eric. Well, thanks so much for all the excellent work you're doing. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I also joined the call with you too, and Tadas. So I'm very excited to help you with those tools to accomplish your mission as well.
Well, the goal by next year is to have hundreds of organizations doing this for real, like just as part of what they do. No big deal, no extra. They're interested, sure, we'll invite them and we'll get some people converting to really learn about what we're doing. But I'm trying to get a ton of people involved in actually doing without having to have huge learning curves. That's kind of my focus.
Yep, that's a great focus, and I'm aligned with you too. One of the things that I've been learning a lot about and listening to the Base community calls, the creator Base, Jesse Pollock talks about bringing 1 billion people on chain and making apps that are really easy to use, that people enjoy using. And they don't necessarily need to know about how it works under the hood. So I think that what you're doing, this outreach is really hopeful. And then when Tadas builds the tools and so forth, we'll have it really nice.
Just imagine we had to know what we're doing to use a cell phone. That'd be really hard. We hardly have to know anything about a cell phone, and yet we all use them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have to abstract the technological difficulties.
Now, out of those, we'll get some people really interested, and that'll get a good fodder for our next generation of fractal governance people and developers. Because they'll come from, oh, this is really cool, I like it, how do we do that? But the key is that's most of us. You know, my wife does not really care how that phone works at all. I find it fascinating how cell phones work, but that's not, the point is that's not most people.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, really appreciate what you're doing, Eric, and I'm very excited to collaborate with you to make it simple for people to play the respect game and get on Optimism and enjoy all the benefits. And also, I think Rosmari created the Fractalgram group too. I don't know if he's joined there, but if he hasn't joined.
Will hasn't yet.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I have had to quit TG on my computer because all the notifications I'm getting. Give me 1 second. Is it in the chat?
It's in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. Does anybody have any questions or comments for anybody? Maybe particularly that would be helpful to reach consensus. Also, if anyone wants to share any links to anything they're working on recently, that would be very welcome. And appreciate if you want to share in the Telegram group or say it out loud or share it in the Discord group so other people can see it too. And one of my questions, I suppose, is related to that. I was wondering, Will, if you had, it was great hearing. Well, I don't want to overload you if you're trying to do the Telegram too. So feel free to just
You're good.
just wait till later.
I can
Okay.
multitask. That's what I've been doing while I'm listening to everybody else's presentation.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I was wondering if you had like links to share where we could check out some of the new updates that you had.
As far as like with Kingfisher's Media specific.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't remember it all off the top of my head right now because you had said several different like initiatives that sounded pretty cool and new. But that was like a half hour ago now, so that was just something that I thought about before that I would love to like look into it more. But if you want to, I'm not sure if it's already links that I've seen or if there's anything new that you wanted to share that had your updates there.
Most of the links are going to be through our socials, so I'll share our primary social accounts for X and Farcaster, and that'd be a good starting point for that. The Charmverse stuff would come through. Did I do that right? Oh yeah, I did. The Charmverse stuff would come through Polygon. I guess I can share their account. So here's our Warpcast account. Also shows where we posted about the new branding we're doing for the Learn to Earn program, officially titled now Learn for Impact. Also shows how you can catch up on our recordings on Farhouse, including an invite code to Farhouse if you're not on Farhouse. We have our own invite code there. Then I'll share our X social. And then I'll see if I can find the Polygon one announcing their grant program as well. I think those are the three most critical. Bobby.
Okay, sounds great. And yeah, thanks for reminding me. I realized I wasn't following you on Warpcast. I was following you on Twitter and seeing all your great tweets there, but I recommend people check it out. warpcast.com/@kingfishersmedia. And that's I just gave a recast to the Learn for Impact program.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, I've been seeing you posting those educational series and so forth. So great to see, and thanks for sharing those links.
No problem.
Also, x.com/KMLLCW3. Regarding the Fractalgram, we have not yet had the accounts from Tadas and Eric. So if you could please enter your account. I'm also not positive if you have an account, Eric, on EVM. Do you have an EVM account?
I do not.
Okay, interesting. So here's an opportunity that I think previously we helped people get EVM accounts, but I'm not totally, that was like a while ago since there's been somebody who hasn't had an EVM account who joined the event. So I'm wondering what the easiest way to do it is. I suppose like it's not very difficult to download a wallet either on a browser.
Or does he have
or
a MetaMask wallet?
Do you have a MetaMask wallet, Eric, or any kind of wallet software or app? We don't hear you, by the way. I don't know if you're trying to speak, but you're muted.
Oh, he just left.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think actually maybe the easiest way to do it is with the new Coinbase Smart Wallet. They have a thing that you can create it.
Yeah, but that's mobile only, isn't it?
Nope, that works on any computer basically. I think
Oh,
like
nice.
Apple, Windows, and so forth.
Eric is back.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything you said. It bounced me off there.
Do you have a
nothing.
MetaMask?
I don't even remember. I might.
Okay.
Sound familiar.
That
I
would
had a
be an
bunch of
EVM
them.
wallet.
Yeah, so I'm sure we can make it work and do something like I don't know, make help Eric set up the account afterwards, and just put in no account and then have a council approve it or something like that. So we can make it work either way. But this is something that we're aiming to refine our process and get better at. Unfortunately, the technology is getting a lot better too, to make it a lot easier for people to set up the wallets, and it's already pretty easy to do so. But
It might be good, for example, if Eric responds to the message or to input his public account with a random number, maybe his name, and then we do the ranking that way. And then in the end, we can all submit our transactions as it is, but then make a proposal to the council once Eric has an account to just swap that to basically swap his public key for whichever public key works after it's created.
So that could work. Another thing is too that I think would be best to try first, but maybe real quick, is Coinbase Smart Wallet. I just shared a link with you, Eric, or I just shared a link in the Zoom chat. It's wallet.coinbase.com/smart wallet. I just created an account with an address in like 20 seconds. It works with a new technology called Passkey, and that's actually something that you might be interested in, Eric, for introducing the respect game and fractal processes to all the communities or organizations that you're working with. Coinbase has recently developed this smart wallet that makes it so that you can go to that website and then click where it says create smart wallet. Maybe hopeful if I pull up a link here too, or share my screen just so people can see it too, because it's pretty nifty. But basically all you do is you just hit create smart wallet, and then you use like your touch ID or face ID or whatever, whether you're on a computer or a phone, and then it creates it within like 5 seconds, and then you have it. So perhaps you want to try that first. Maybe we can also just go play the respect game too, if that's too much for now, but that process should be quite simple to do, generally speaking. And if it's helpful, I could briefly share my screen to show how it works.
Okay, it says it found a wallet.
Okay, and then if you see on the screen, it says like search coins, NFTs, and dApps, and it says balance 0, and then in the top right corner, it says buy, send, swap. And then if you hit that top right corner right next to where it says swap, then yeah, maybe I'll just go ahead and share this because I think it'd be easier.
It says buy or transfer with Coinbase, or buy with debit card is what it's saying. Coinbase on ramp is where it took me.
Okay.
Should I go back or?
I'm not totally sure where you are right now. Basically, if you go to this website, then if you go to create smart wallet here, then it says create smart wallet, and then you hit that, and then you can like just use your security key or passkey or whatever. It's just giving me issues right now because I'm doing a different browser right now. But before, it just let me do my it just let me use my touch ID thing, and then it created it, and then it showed like a little thing on the screen where it showed me my address after that. So I'm having difficulty in this browser now, but previously it was working on the other browser. So I don't know if this is what you saw or if you saw something different here. Oh yeah, so I just got it to work now. So it says my smart wallet is ready. I just had to go just select one button to use this browser, and then I can go to fund wallet. And then when I go to fund wallet, oh, actually, that's another thing that I previously didn't have before.
It says buy or send some crypto to your wallet to get started.
Okay, so yeah, maybe this will take a bit more troubleshooting to do, because for me before, maybe best not to do it on a live website, but before I just had to give my touch ID, and then it opened up this in the top right corner where I could see my address, and I copied that, and I just created this wallet like 2 minutes ago, and it took like 10 seconds to do, but there seems to be some little quirks and so forth. So maybe we'll just go with Rosemary's suggestion and just put in something different for Eric right now, and then we'll follow up afterwards, Eric, and we'll figure out how to.
Hold it. There's copy address. That may be something. I could try it.
Okay, yeah, if you can copy address, that would be good.
I found some. It's a copy address.
Yeah, that's all we need. And we can fund his account. I can send him some.
Let's see if that works.
Okay, some live onboarding here.
I don't know if that works, but it said I already had a wallet, and then I looked at said Explore wallet, and it said copy address. So that's what I got.
Okay. Well, did you copy and paste that into Fractalgram then?
Yep.
Yes, he already did.
Okay, sounds great. I see the poll without afterwards. Okay, so the new poll's out now. Okay, so now we can rank level 6. Who you think did the most to help Optimism? And we're just missing one vote from Tadas. But so far, Tadas is in the lead with 3 votes. So Tadas, if you want to vote for yourself, then you can get level 6.
Voted in the previous, but I can vote again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it looks like you have consensus anyway, though. You have 4 votes here. So thank you very much, Tadas. And we can move on to level 5. Not so easy. Okay, we don't have consensus here. So Will has 1 vote, Eric has 1 vote, I have 2 votes, and Rosemarie has 2 votes. And it's changing. The results are changing. Will now has 2 votes, Eric has 1 vote, I have 2 votes, and Rosemarie has 1 vote. Would anyone like to share their thoughts? I was thinking of voting for Will as well, so I could potentially change to Will. But happy to hear anybody's thoughts if anyone wants to share their rationale. Also, we have 8 minutes left for the respect game too, so we should try to wrap it up pretty soon. I did vote for Eric because I really appreciate Eric joining for the first time, and I suppose creating an Optimism account for the first time too. And also, I think the work he's been doing behind the scenes is really super helpful for Optimism, because I've been talking a lot with Eric and Tadas and coordinating how he can bring lots of people on chain. He's been developing all these relationships, but also I wasn't sure if I should vote for Eric because that hasn't materialized yet. Like, I think it's under process, it's in progress, but could also give Eric more respect afterwards. But I see other people are changing too, so it looks like Eric now has 3 votes, and I have 2 votes, and Rosemarie has 1 vote still. Would anyone else like to share some thoughts and help us reach consensus?
I switched. Eric should now have 4.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you very much, Eric. Much respect, and we can move on to level 4. Thank you, Rosemarie, for doing a great job at administering Fractalgram. Okay, and it looks like I have 4 votes here, so thank you all, much appreciated. And we got a 50-50 between Rosmari and Will. Up. It'd be cool at some point to be able to show the live votes on screen because there's like changing and stuff like that, but it looks like it changes. Rosmari got level 3.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rosmari. And we can move on to level 2 here. And we got Will with 4 votes for level 2. And that means Zaal will be level 1. We all get respect. Much respect and thanks and appreciation to everybody for Get Respect game. Hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I did. And thanks everybody so much for all the great work. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. The results
you.
can be submitted here. When you click on here.
This is the highlight of my week, actually. I have a lot of fun with this group.
Glad to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always a highlight getting to hang out with you too, Will. Really appreciate that and have a lot of fun whenever we talk.
Getting a failed to load Web3 error. It's not popping the wallet. Oh, because I have the wallet in the background. Okay, never mind. Here we go.
Yeah, I had an issue last week. I wasn't able to submit consensus at all. I tried submitting afterwards and I tried for like 10 minutes and just it wasn't working. I don't know if I did something wrong. But also I saw the other people in my room had submitted consensus successfully. And I know that Tadas is working on the next version. So I was like, okay, that's good enough for now.
Vlad had Web3 fail to load issue, and I think he figured out what it was. It was
Yeah, I just had to manually connect the wallet. Right?
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing now. It just says transaction failed, transaction failed. I know we also have some document, like some frequently asked questions where we troubleshooted because there was like 3 issues that I like wrote about the issues and
I
then
submitted
also
transaction submitted. I had a blockchain already because I wasn't signed in with my MetaMask. So that was, I think that's one of the causes of blockchain not ready. But then I signed in and then I clicked submit and it worked. Well, I'm using web browser. It's interesting to see that for some it works and for some it doesn't. Maybe it's just a specific case.
Well, it
very
also depends
interesting.
on your cache, on your browser cache too.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
submitted transaction submitted, pushed it on chain, and I got the character code so in the chat, TG chat.
Was
Okay.
everyone else able to submit?
I have not been able to do so. I got the same code as Will. And I thought I figured out how to fix it, but still having some issues with it. It just says
So-
transaction failed to me. That's an error that I never saw. Maybe it's I should try with a different wallet or something like that.
Are you sure you're connected to the wallet that it's the same public key?
Yes. Yeah, maybe something. I should probably also test it too with if I can use this wallet for some other purpose, like use it for a different app or something like that. Maybe I'll try that later today after the event is over, just to see if I can get it to work otherwise. But yeah, maybe don't wait on me, and I'll just try to figure this out later.
Okay.
And Tadas, your development is much appreciated too, because I think that that will also help resolve that. And also the research I've been doing with Abraham into wall connection software will make it so that we can connect software much more easily. I think the original version is kind of like a basic version, but there's really good toolkits set up to make it very easy to connect wallets that we'll be able to integrate within the coming weeks, I think. Especially once that Tadas has the base foundation software. With that, also, I don't know if everybody else has been able to submit. Hopefully, we've been able to get 4 to 6 submissions. I hope that I don't know if Eric you've been able to, but I know you had some issues. So if you could submit, that'd be great. But Tadas, Will, Zaal, and Rosmari, if you're able to submit, I think a couple of you said you were already. So if we get 4 to 6, then that would make it so we don't have to do like any proposal or anything, which would be nice.
We have 3 currently. Me, Rosmari, I think, and Will.
Yeah, and Zaal's driving too, so I don't want Zaal to veer off the road while he's driving. So I'll just try to take care of it right after the event to see if I can push Onchain. And if not, I'll make a proposal or something.
Try to either look in our Optimistics chat or contact Vlad. He might have had the same error.
Okay.
Eric, did you try to submit?
It's saying log in, install MetaMask, and I go to MetaMask. And MetaMask says, here you are, you're fine. And then it says, screw you. So I don't know.
It's yeah, he got Coinbase wallet, not MetaMask, so
but it turns out I do have MetaMask. So.
Okay, well, yeah, I suppose either one should work really. Whether you're using MetaMask or Coinbase wallet, they should both be able to work to submit the transaction, even if it's not the account that you already used to.
Current Fractal app only works with MetaMask.
I don't know. I thought that it worked with other things too. I remember people saying they use a different thing, but maybe I'm wrong.
You may also need some OETH in his wallet too.
That's true too. I don't know if Tadas you was successful in sending it, or maybe you sent it to the other address he gave you.
No, I thought we will get enough submissions, but
okay. Well, everyone, we are a minute past the top of the hour, so we can resolve all the technical issues later. And I appreciate everybody's patience while we figure these things out, of course, but it'll be a much better situation with the tools soon. And I'll figure out how to do it in the meantime. We can move on to the town hall segment of it if everybody's ready. If anybody needs to go, then feel free to go now. I remember Tadas, you're saying it's late for you, so if you want to head out, then that's good. Thanks so much for joining. But otherwise, we can also get into the town hall unless anybody has anything else you want to share before that. But also, if you are able to stick around at all to us for any feedback on the proposal that I shared about the new core intent, I know you already wrote it too, but that'd be appreciated if you have anything else there, because but you gotta go. That's okay, and you can always follow up in chat too. But that is one thing that I would especially appreciate your feedback though on.
Yeah, I have to go, but I overall, as I already said, I like the idea of adding to the intent the thing about optimizing governance. I'm not sure about the whole phrasing regarding Optimism Collective or Superchain, but I'm not sure I have a solution. I don't think I have a better idea.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for the feedback, and yeah, we'll have a discussion now, and then we'll share the video in the chat. We'll go into this in more detail, so you can check that out if you want to review it. And then I'm also planning on making a proposal too that you can take part in if you want to. And appreciate your feedback and all the great work that you're doing to us. So thanks so much.
Thank you. I appreciate your work too. All of you.
Thank you.
See you.
See you.
See ya.
Good to us.
All right, and with that, maybe I'll give just a quick presentation.
Are we doing Slido today?
No, my subscription for Slido ran out last week, so I don't have a Slido plan right now currently. But we do have Snapshot though, so we did Slido for Eden Fractal. but Snapshot is really better in a lot
that's
of
right.
ways. Yeah. So sideloads have some nice features that I'd love to integrate as well, but we have Snapshot where we can actually vote with respect here. So I will give a little overview of what we have on the agenda today, and then we could talk more about voting on topics and so forth, as well as the proposal or the draft proposal. I'm curious everybody's thoughts, and then also we talk about Onchain Summer too. I remember somebody, I think Zaal said he was preparing for that, and Optimism Collective, so we can get into that. I see Will, you're unmuted. If you want to share anything, then feel free. Otherwise, I'll get into the presentation now.
Oh no, I was just looking at Optimism Town Hall proposals. I didn't see anything active on Snapchat.
Okay, yeah. For this particular week, there was just proposals that were the topics were chosen on Monday, because that's like the main system basically, that anybody can propose topics and then vote on them, and then the topic that has the most votes on Monday is a topic that is chosen. We've also experimented with like the OP topics where we had it where there was a live voting too, but due to technical reasons, that's also a little more difficult too. So for right now, if you want to vote on topics, then I'd recommend either proposing or voting them before Monday. But then also it's just the 5 of us here, so we can just also just kind of have fun with it and do it loosely too. And then in the future, we'll work on more ways to vote on topics live and do it easily like we've done before as well.
Fair enough.
What do you mean technical reasons? What are the technical reasons? I don't know. I'm not aware of any technical reasons for
Well,
voting on topics.
yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot I can go into, and I could share some notes that I have written about this, but I suppose just try to like briefly summarize it. The snapshot poll, the way snapshot works, it doesn't allow you to. Oh, maybe I should just open up the page because it's like kind of complex. There's like 4 or 5 different factors, and like some features for snapshot work for this desire, and some don't work for this desire. If it was helpful, maybe we follow up, Rosmari, or maybe after I give a little introductory presentation, or if you want now, I can pull that page up. It'll take me a moment to pull it up.
No, I just think that it's still okay. It still works for people to propose topics without. I don't think there are really technicalities. But yeah, I think it's time to go into the Optimism Town Hall.
Okay, it sounds good. Yeah, and I can get into more details about it. And just to briefly summarize, people can propose topics very easily in Snapshot, and we encourage everybody to do that in the Optimism Town Hall Snapshot. But the issue is that there's no way to be able to like do live voting on topics like we've done before, unless you like propose it. Unless one person proposes it, basically. So anyway, I'm attempting to explain it right now, but I'll share the article about it that has it. I have like well documented exactly what the reason why this system is designed as it is right now. But the simple overview is that if you want to propose a topic, then just put it on Snapshot and then we'll discuss it, or you can just suggest a topic, and I appreciate your patience while we figure out the best way to make it work. So cool. Thanks, Rosmari. All right, so welcome everybody to the Optimism Town Hall. We are here. I have the pleasure to be here with Eric and Rosmari and Will and Zaal. Thanks for joining us for the first time, Eric. We just had a great event at Optimism Fractal, and we meet here every Thursday at 18 UTC for the Optimism Town Hall, where we have an open and structured and impactful discussions about Optimism Collective and Superchain, talk about governance, talk about whatever's on our mind related to optimism, talk about Optimism Fractal as well. For anybody who's not familiar, you can check out the article that we have. I just shared the Luma page where you can register for the weekly events and also get emails and so forth. And then there's an article that you can find in there where you can learn more about what the Optimism Town Hall is and how you can get involved, and the synergies with Optimism Fractal, and also how we organize our discussions with Cagendas. That's one of the things we were just talking about. These are the rules of Cagendas, basically, which is how we propose topics. Cagendas is like short for community agendas or collaborative agendas. And basically the way it works is that anyone who's earned respect at Optimism Fractal can propose a topic by creating a poll in the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space. You can do that anytime, and then anyone who's earned respect can vote on polls with their respect to help determine the discussion topic for the week. And then whichever topic has the most votes in the snapshot space by Monday at 17 UTC will be the topic that we discuss first. And everybody's welcome to join and suggest topics too and participate in Optimism Town Hall discussions. It's meant to be like a very open collaborative forum, but we're also experimenting with this way that people can vote on topics in the event to make it more fun, help pioneer ways that people can host discussions. So feel free to just suggest topics if you want as well. It's also a working development. Like we're working on making it ways that citizens and delegates and all kinds of public goods creators can vote on topics, even if they don't have it. And we have lots of next steps and ways you can get involved that you can learn more on this page too. So everybody's also welcome to join Optimism Fractal an hour earlier to play the respect game like we just did, and check out optimismfractal.com and check out the videos to learn more, join the weekly events. Of course, very welcome to join this community dedicated to fostering collaboration and awarding public goods creators on
Let's go
optimism.
to the topics.
And that's what we're going to discuss, because this is leading into the topic about a community dedicated to fostering collaboration and awarding public goods creators on optimism. So I have this page about how we choose topics that you can read more, but we were discussing that for a while, so we'll just get into the topics. These are the various games we've kind of invented and been playing around with Cagendas and OP topics. But let's get into the topics, as Rosmari said. So I proposed 4 topics this week. One of them is just an open discussion for whatever we want to discuss. One of them is about Onchain Summer, an initiative that's started by Base and going on all around the Superchain, bringing people Onchain this summer and doing all sorts of exciting experiences. One of them, which is the top topic that we'll discuss, is Optimism Fractal Spore Intense. And then also Optimism Collective Season 6 too. Lots of exciting initiatives too. I wrote in the Optimism Fractal Discord a little note about this too. So the one that got the most votes is one that I voted for at the last minute, and that's about the core intents. And then I think that we'll have time to discuss other things if we want to. And there's other exciting topics that have some upcoming timelines and deadlines and stuff like that too, with Onchain Summer and Season 6 for Optimism. There's some really big opportunities there too. So very happy to get into these discussions too, if you'd like to, but we'll start off with the core intents. So you can go into the Optimism Fractal snapshot space and find all these, as Rosmari had shared in the promotional message. And basically this topic is that I'm thinking about making a proposal to change our core intents to Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated, well, currently it is, Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration and awarding public goods creators on optimism. And I'm thinking about changing that in 2 ways. One by adding optimizing governance in the Optimism Collective, or one is optimism governance, and then one is including the Superchain in there. And maybe Optimism Collective, I'm still not totally sure what's best yet, so I'd appreciate any feedback, but basically that's the 2 main changes. There's a draft page here that I showed during the respect game in Optimism Fractal that we just did, where it shows a little bit of an overview about these changes, about the previous core intent, the proposed core intent, and then the exact changes here. And then there's a little update that I had. Tadas provided some feedback too. And the one that I'm currently thinking probably is best is just Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. So I have a bunch of rationale here. Just to really briefly summarize it, Optimism Fractal has always been pioneering collective decision making, and we have a council of respected community members, and we have other tools like respect trees and topic discussion games like we were discussing, and these are all ways to help improve collective governance and help optimize it. And when we first had that this core intent, it was back in the beginning of Optimism Fractal when we didn't have a lot of these things, so we just kept it simple. But I think now it's ready to embrace governance more, and Optimism Fractal has always been rooted in fractal democracy too. It's where a lot of our processes have come from too. There's more links where you can learn more about these processes and how they can help people govern and cooperate in a more democratic way. And then the Optimism Collective is looking for these kinds of systems too. So that's one of their main core intents, to move to decentralization, improve governance in organizational and technical ways. So Optimism Fractal can play a helpful role in this. And then also the 6th round of retro funding coming up in September, focus on governance. So I think that focusing more on governance will help Optimism Fractal community members be in a better position to earn funding. I think that what we're doing with Optimism Fractal is a really, really helpful thing to the Optimism Collective with governance. So it could be an opportunity for Optimism Fractal community members to earn more funding by targeting more on focusing more on governance when we discuss it with Optimism Collective and badge holders and so forth, and share how we can help. And then we can also attract more people who are interested in collective decision making as well. Like we just hosted the Eden Fractal 2-year anniversary. Lots of great innovators and fractals too that we can attract more who are interested in governance. So I think that'd be helpful for getting the word out. And then also there's a little bit about what is optimism anyway. So optimism is technically like the superchain in a way. There's an article that was recently released by Optimism where they're trying to explain what is optimism. It's not just the OP mainnet, not just one L2 network, but it's the combination and the collective of Base and Zora and Redstone and many other public goods networks too. You can see Rosmari had put out a really nice promotional message that explained what we're doing with the with superchain leaders too. So I think this is a way that Optimism Fractal can help lead the superchain and collaborate with all of these innovators to make it more clear. It's not just with the OP mainnet. I'm open to maybe saying just Optimism or the collective or the superchain, but that's basically the proposal and the suggestions. I see, Rosmari, you have your hand up, so I'll go to you 1 second. But first, I'll just wrap up my presentation briefly. My apologies, my presentation is a little bit disorganized today. But yeah, there's more here too if you wanted to see questions and answers. I talked about should these be called core intents and where it's featured. This is basically featured at the top of the website, social media, and at the top of optimismfractal.com/details. And then I think core intents is the best way to call it. And I think it should also be a decision from the council too. So for anyone who's not familiar, you can go to optimismfractal.com/council and see how people are elected each week to approve community decisions and so forth. And so this is one of our consensus processes. And I think that this is like a really great thing for the council to decide because it is originally in the Optimism Fractal Council/details, which is kind of like a community agreement in a way. And so everything that's here has been decided via consensus process. So I think that this would be a great thing for the council to approve. If the council is interested, happy to hear feedback. And yeah, I'm thinking about making this proposal in the next week. And so curious to hear your thoughts. And then if you want to learn more, you can find my post in Discord or on the snapshot space as well. There's also a lot more information here. We're just trying to give a high level overview. And then if you'd like, then we can get into the other topics as well. But first we'll pass it over to Rosmari.
Thank you for presenting and thinking about it and also providing the rationale. I have not looked into the Notion page with the rationale, but happy to do that. And I think it's a good change to include the superchain and the governance focus. It makes sense to have more than just optimism, but mention the superchain because of the way that the superchain works, and that way we'll be able to speak more towards the superchain networks and or more so the L2s within the superchain, and that would make it much more attractive. And also having governance there, I think is key. Maybe it was something that we didn't think about initially when we were crafting this the current version, but I think it's key. What we're doing here is pretty much optimizing governance on a weekly basis. So I think it is also important to include it in our core intent. So I think it looks and sounds good to me. Curious to hear what everyone thinks.
Great. Thank you very much for the feedback.
I'm
Rosmari, I see
supportive.
Will unmuted.
Yeah, I'm supportive of the change from a long-term planning perspective of being more inclusive with all the chains that make up the superchain model. I feel that having a wide but balanced footprint in Web3 as we're creating our social graphs is equally as important. There's long-term value in that. And then it also shows that this group, this community is inclusive because we're not excluding any other chains from the superchain model. So I'm in favor of the change.
Thank you for the feedback, Will. Much appreciated.
Rosemary, social graphs fire. Yes, absolutely, they're fire.
Yeah, social graphs is really the future.
Yeah, and especially when we get to determine what that social graph looks like, and we don't put it in the hands of other people, right, to determine that for us. So.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Great points. Okay, cool. Does anybody else have any other thoughts on this draft proposal? I see Eric's unmuted.
I have a question since I'm new. If we were to give somebody else a report card sheet to give us a grade, you know, and they don't know anything about us, but they're like, here, grade us, what would be the items on that report card that they would grade us on?
That's a good question. And I think it's quite related to core intents too. I know like one of the inspirations between the core intent behind the core intents is the way that the Optimism Collective defines core intents. So they defined 3 core intents for this season of Optimism, and they've done so each season. I think last season there was 4 intents, and this season, if I recall, I could pull up the screen, but there's 3 intents that are to progress towards decentralization, and maybe I should just pull it up too, because I could pull it up, but they're regarding like attracting builders and so forth, and they have specific metrics basically that they're trying to achieve, and they state these like these are our measurements, our KPIs. So we have not yet established such KPIs, and I suppose that might be a good next step though too. And that would be a great thing to have some measurements that we could measure our progress with. So I could speak off the top of my head.
I guess if we were to take those 3 core intents, my point, and what would it say? I mean, specifically for each intent. So the grading says core intent 1, 2, 3. That's the report card that somebody else is filling out for us. What does it say underneath each of those core intents for us? If we were to get an A, if we were to get an A on that core intent, what would we have done? A, B, C. What would an A be like, and what would a B be like, and what would a C be like, just for example?
So I'll go ahead and share my screen again while I answer the question. If anybody wants to answer it, then feel free to do so. But I also did find the article I was meaning to share. I did have this linked actually, so I took some time to share these links while I prepared this page a lot better than I prepared my presentation. Sorry, I was having browser issues. But there's an article here that says intent ratification article from the Optimism Collective. And if you go here, then you can see exactly how they do it. They have their 3 intents to progress towards decentralization, bring change to the superchain, and grow application developers on the superchain. And they have target metrics like increase voter supply of the OP by 15% to 100 million OP, and have a stage 1 roll up with multiple fault proofs, and so forth.
So the first one, I'm driving, so now I'm mobile since we went to the town hall. So, but I heard develop it. So if we were to get an A, what would we develop to meet that need?
Yeah, so I suppose we could make like a similar.
Yeah, well, they want development. We want to develop governance apps. So an A for this session would be release Tadas's next version of the app. I'm just throwing things. I'm not saying. I'm just throwing, examples. Get 3 new developers. What would we do in charge of development?
Yeah, so right now our core intents don't have anything specifically to do with development as it is right now. And also I'm calling these core intents, so they don't necessarily need to be intents, and perhaps we could have some other word for it too. That's one of the questions I asked below. But right now it's fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and the new one that we're suggesting here is optimizing governance. So we could make intents like how many public goods creators are awarded, or how much respect is issued, and or how much funding that helps to direct and to influence and so forth.
Or what kind? What would we focus on and bringing to the table? If they're focusing on the general idea of like developers or funders, what part of that is ours?
Yeah,
we should be narrowing down those core intents that we can do better than anyone else, because we know governance, or we know decision making, or we work with these kind of communities through our networks. We know maybe we could add anything: nonprofits, game players, anything we want.
Yep.
But I have to think that if we take the Optimism core intents, that we could do some piece of one or more of those better than anyone else.
Yeah, and that's basically what we've chosen here. We had fostering collaboration and awarding public goods creators. That for the past 29 weeks, those are the things that we've chosen to really focus on honing in as much as possible, which I believe that we do better than anybody else with the respect game, fostering collaboration in this
Well,
open kind of environment and awarding public goods
what is
creators with respect.
but what is our cut on that? I mean, everybody could say that. Oh yeah, we do this. Me too. Me too. Me too. But when we talk about our public goods, how are our public good people different?
Well, to be clear,
in other words,
it's not our public goods speaker people so much as just awarding public goods creators. So this is reaching out to the entire Optimism Collective and the Superchain and saying, everybody who creates public goods, we have a system to award these public goods creators. And that's the respect game. So that's a differentiation here. Nobody else has the respect game really. I mean, for example, Zaal just started the respect game with the Zaal, so that's great. But Optimism Fractal, basically on Optimism, is leading the development of the respect game, and we're doing it each week at Optimism Fractal, where people, regardless of how they help Optimism, if they're creating public goods, we have a system to award them and recognize their work and so forth. So that's why that's one of our core intents, and also foster collaboration. There's a lot of great events in Optimism, but none of them are so collaborative as this one.
But at that point, within our own circle, we are awarding certain kinds of contributors, right, and creators. And then on top of that, separately, we have a method that allows other people to do that better, if I'm hearing you right. And again, I apologize because I'm just kind of hearing. But it sounds like we've created a method. So that's already created. So one part is improving that method. The other part is giving it to creators interested in governance and collaboration. That's the kind of niche we put in. But then also it's focusing on giving other people and to do whoever they're going after, the benefit of doing that better. Does that make sense? Am I off track?
Yeah, I think that makes sense generally. I mean, Optimism Fractal is doing a lot, basically. We're building open source software that allows anybody to use the respect game. So anybody can also foster collaboration and award public goods creators and optimize governance like we are. But that's like the main focuses that we have, basically.
Yeah, so that would be, my point is that would be a success, either adding an improvement to what we're already doing or getting more people to use what we're already doing. It sounds like it would fulfill that core intent.
Yep, I agree. And I think that would be good next steps. So just by the way, we only have a few minutes left scheduled.
Yeah, I'm trying to be helpful. I'm just asking questions on how our intents connects with the optimism intents, because that sounds like it would make it easier to talk with them, support them, get grants from them. If we could say, well, this is what you want, and here's how we do what you want. It's kind of a technique that we used to use with the government all the time. It's, well, you want this, so we do what you want. So here's how we are helping with your idea, even though we would get them sometimes our idea would become their idea. It made it easier to communicate because we could clearly say how we are in sync. So to them, it just looks like we are a public servant for them, even if they were paying us. But that's the idea. So hopefully that idea is at least helpful.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you, Eric. I agree. It's great to organize our core intents and explain how they contribute to the core intents of the Optimism Collective. And also, I think that's a good next step too, that after we establish these core intents at some point in the near future, to work to further define how exactly they would be achieved, what kinds of metrics could be used to measure and so forth. I see Rosmari shared a comment there. I don't know if you want to share that out loud, Rosmari. Feel free.
Yes, I think thanks, Eric, for your feedback. Much appreciated. And I agree that it's on point to look at Optimism's intents and trying to bring out how we can help with them and be in sync, as you said.
Yeah, and I used to have to do that in the corporate world. Is, the company would come out and say, here is our intention for this year, and which case, let's say I was a few departments, let's say the marketing department would say, well, here is, and I would help develop that. The marketing's point response to that is, well, here's how marketing is going to help the company achieve that, at which point my group, which had one of 40 vertical markets, would say, and here's how we are going to, you know, accomplish that with our vertical market.
Thanks for the explanation.
Yeah, good points all around. Thanks
Quite
for the
welcome.
discussion. Thanks a lot, Eric. Great contributions. First time. We are at just at the top of the scheduled time too, so I want to make sure we respect everybody's time. If there's anything you wanted to add real quick, Zaal, we haven't heard your thoughts, so we'd be happy to hear them. But we can also follow up and chat about that too. And appreciate all the feedback on this. We have some good next steps to further refine the intents and what we'll do with them. And I think generally people have been in favor of the optimism governance. The only thing I'm not totally sure about is if it should be collective and superchain or just superchain or something like that. But we can always follow with that in chat. And then my plan is basically to make a proposal to the council, and then the council can vote yes or no according to that. So maybe even without any extra feedback needed, I'll just go ahead and make a proposal and the council can decide what they want to do. If anybody has any last thoughts on that, then feel free to jump in, and very much looking forward to engaging with the Superchain leaders and optimizing governance as well. So thanks all so much for the excellent discussion. I've really been enjoying this town hall and Fractal event. I just want to also give a quick overview of the other topics, just because there's just a couple of deadlines here too. So I'm going to wrap it up in a minute or two. If anybody needs to go at precisely this time, then feel free to do so. But otherwise, we'll try to wrap it up in the next couple of minutes. Optimism Collective Season 6, there is a deadline coming up on June 27th. If you'd like to request a mission, you can go to the proposal on Snapshot for this topic and click here to learn more about this initiative. Basically, you can propose a mission request, which is like for funding. If there's something that you want Optimism Collective to fund and then other people to do or yourself to do, then you can propose that and you can do it by June 27th. I did that in the past with Rosmari. It's a pretty well organized system, and it's a way to get funding and kind of create your own grant program for something you want to do. So you can learn more about that here, and feel free to reach out about that in Discord. And that's coming up in about 2 weeks, that deadline. So something to think about if you like. And then in about a month, there's also going to be ways that you can apply to earn funding from these missions as well. And there's a whole bunch of other missions that you can get involved with there too. And then Base Onchain Summer is happening right now too. So one of the reasons why I was really excited about involving the Superchain more in the core intents of Optimism Fractal is because of great Superchain builders like Base, like great OP stack chain like Base. Also, as Rosmari had in the picture, there's a bunch of other amazing Superchain leaders too, like Zora and Cello and Mode and Redstone and Lisk. A whole bunch of them that are building on the OP stack, and Base happens to be like the fastest growing L2 network in the world right now, and they're working to bring billions of people on chain to increase innovation, creativity, and freedom. And they have this great initiative called Onchain Summer that you can learn more about in the blog post here. If you go to base.org too, you could find the blog post. But if you go to the Snapshot page, then you can find a project where I've been curating this information, and the deadline to apply for Onchain Summer is June 17th, which is in 4 days from now. This is a really great opportunity. There's about 600 ETH in funding that they're giving away, which is over $2 million in funding, and they have a bunch of big partners like Stripe and Shopify and Farcaster who are supporting this, and also there's opportunities for engagement and growth of our app and so forth. So I've been thinking about applying for this a lot to help out Optimism Fractal in various ways, and want to just put this out there so everybody could be aware of these opportunities and be aware of the timelines coming up here too. So you don't need to build something by June 17th, but you need to submit an application by June 17th and then submit something that you build by June 30th. And once again, you can find more details if you go to the Optimism Town Hall snapshot, which is at snapshot.org/optimismtownhall.eth. So that's all I wanted to give there for those like kind of updates there. Also, I already kind of apologized a couple times for being disorganized, but I am going to just make sure that this is more organized because we can give a lot better presentation in the future. So appreciate everybody's support and patience as we refine that town hall, and really appreciate everybody having all these great discussions today. In conclusion, we'll be back for the Optimism Town Hall again on Thursday at 18 UTC next week, and everybody's welcome to join. Everybody's welcome to make proposals too on the snapshot page, like you said, or if you wanted to suggest a topic in the Discord or wherever else and let us know what you want to discuss. Just happy to have an open discussion and provide as much value as we can to everybody in the community. And this is where you can make proposals in the snapshot space and then also see the information for others too. Of course, everybody's also welcome to join the other events we host in the week. And there's many events going on Optimism, such as a call hosted by some Optimism leaders, a Twitter space that happens about a half hour from Jay Rocky that you can find on his account, and a whole bunch of other events. We'll get more organized at sharing these in the future. And we host Optimism Fractal every Thursday at 17 UTC right before the town hall, and can also get involved with other events like Eden Fractal too. So my apologies for going a bit over time. Hope that everybody had a wonderful time. If anybody has anything you want to say before we wrap it up, then feel free. I'm happy to stick around a bit longer, but we should also probably wrap it up pretty soon so we respect everybody's time. And I'm happy to do a countdown and then go whenever we're ready.
Do you have the direct link for that snapshot to propose missions for season 6?
Yes, I will.
Throw that in the chat, please. Thank you.
Yep, I'll throw that in the chat. I'll also put that. It's also in the Discord too, but I'll put it in the chat for you. I just lost it right now, so maybe I'll just put it in the Discord again after the event. And then just as a note, there's also a Notion page link there with
if you can put it in the
links.
Eden Fractal TG, I'm not gonna check Discord anytime soon. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. I know you have a lot going on Discord, so yeah, I'll share it in the Eden Fractal Telegram, and I'll also try to reach out with
Beautiful.
you with it for you privately too.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I'll give it a couple of moments if anyone wants to share any last thoughts. And looks like we're ready to wrap it up. Okay, let's do it. Shall we end on a 3, 2, 1, go Optimism Fractal? I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Go
Optimism
Optimism
Fractal! Woohoo! And also, wait, also maybe 3, 2, 1, go Optimism Superchain too. I think it might be a good idea, being the new potential core intent. 3, 2, 1, go Optimism Superchain! All right. Thanks all, and see you next time.
See you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you.